Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, Our Moments with God, where I share with you my simple and humble reflections. And if you would like to subscribe to this channel, you may please do it now. I also share with you sometimes important information about the saints in the church. And today, 22nd of August, we celebrate the feast of Queenship of Mary. Actually, it has a very interesting background as well. You see, in 1854, the Pope had declared the dogma of the Immaculate Conception of Mary, that Mary was conceived without sin. And 4 years later, in 1858, Our Lady appeared to Bernadette Soubirous in France, in Lourdes. And when Bernadette asked, "How shall I address you, this lady, or yourself?" she said, "I am the Immaculate Conception." So, what the Pope had just 4 years before that declared as a dogma was confirmed by the apparition of Our Lady to Bernadette. So, that began and that made a lot of excitement among people, and a devotion to Our Lady grew, also because a lot of people then were going to Lourdes and were getting cured. Then in 1950, the Pope Pius XII had again declared another dogma on the Assumption of Mary, which we celebrated last week, exactly a week ago, on the 15th of August, that Mary was taken up to heaven with her body and soul. And of course, that was the dogma. And then we believe that she is seated at the right hand of her Son, Jesus Christ, being the Queen of heaven. So, after the assumption that she was taken with body and soul, naturally she was made to sit on the right side of her. And this has a parallel actually in the Old Testament, when Bathsheba, the mother of King Solomon, went to visit him. King, who was seated on the throne himself, made his mother sit next to him on his right hand. That is the first thing. The second thing, then the Bathsheba, the queen or mother of King Solomon, asked him, "I have a request to make to you. Please do not refuse." And king said to her, "Yes, my mother, make a request, and I will not refuse you." And that parallel is then transferred to our Mary as the mother. King Solomon was a typology of Jesus, the King of heaven and the King of all kings. So just as Solomon made his mother sit on his right, Jesus, the King of heaven and the King of kings, makes his mother Mary sit on her right, on his right hand. And just as Solomon promised his mother that, "Please ask and I will not refuse you what you ask," so does Jesus tell his mother, "Yes, mother, ask me what you will and I will not refuse you." Many people, particularly the Protestants, do not understand this connection from the Old Testament, which is a typology, to the New Testament, how things develop. Actually, New Testament makes lot of sense when we read it with in connection or in relation to the Old Testament, and also vice versa. Old Testament, lot of things make sense when we read it in relation to the New Testament, and these people either forget, or they do not know, or they do not make that connection. That's why it is important for us to read both the testaments with this interest and this background knowledge. So, until 1969, this feast of the Queenship of Mary was actually celebrated on the 31st of May. But Pope Paul VI then transferred it to the 22nd of August every year, 8 days after the Assumption of Mary. That means, you see, it has a logic. 8 days after she is taken up to heaven with body and soul, then we celebrate the Queenship of Mary, that she is seated at the right hand of her Son, Jesus, as the King of heaven, the King of kings. She becomes the Queen Mother. And I think this is a wonderful expression or a title for Mother Mary. For me, of course, as I have mentioned to you earlier, I have great devotion to Our Mary. I have been to Fatima. Here behind me is the statue of Fatima. So there, she has appeared to many people and continues to support people. Many of you may know or may not know that many priests have very special devotion to Mary, because we, at least personally me, I have found her hand guiding me, protecting me, and even helping me to preserve my vocation. As priests, we are human beings as well. We sometimes get into crisis, and it is Mother Mary who helps us to keep faithful to her Son. So let us celebrate this feast of the Queenship of Mary in heaven with great thanksgiving to Mary and praise to her, and also thank her Son for giving us his mother as the Queen. And if you would like to subscribe to this channel, you may please do it now. Thank you.